I'm just over it. Like, I'm tired, I'm working hard, but nothing's letting up. I feel lost, I feel stuck, and I don't know what to do. So recently I had a friend post on Facebook how she felt so lost and so defeated, and she was just ready to like just throw in the towel. Not nothing bad in terms of like wanting to do harm to herself, but she was just like over it. Like, life is life, and that's the new terminology that that we use, right? And she was just like, I'm just over it. Like, I'm tired, I'm working hard, but nothing's letting up. I feel lost, I feel stuck, and I don't know what to do. And so it made me want to do this video and share a few tips because it really made me think about when I was going through that same period in my life of feeling like lost and unaccomplished and just like distraught and just down. Like, just down about where I currently was at that time. And so I want to share a few tips with you that has helped me and is still helping me on my journey as I continue to be the best version of myself. So the first thing is I stopped going on social media and comparing myself to others. Like, and it's easier said than done, right? Because in a lot of cases, you don't even know when it's happening. You're on social media, you're browsing, and you're seeing all these different things that's happening. This person is on vacation, and this person is, you know, just had this big deal that they just completed. You see all these like different like accomplishments that's happening, and you're like, dang, I wish that was me, right? And it's not even on purpose, but it's human nature to tap in. So you're happy for that person, but at the same time, it makes you wonder and stop to kind of like do a little self reflection, like what do I have going on? And so comparison can really be the thief of joy. And so I had to learn to stop doing that and to hone in on the things that I have going on and be grateful and see the positive things that's going on in my life and focus on that. Am I happy for that person? Am I happy for, these people that are accomplishing these great things? Absolutely. But I also had to think about the fact that I don't know exactly what they went through to get to where they are now. I don't know the exact sacrifices that they made. But understanding that in most cases, whatever it is that they're doing right now, it probably didn't happen overnight. And knowing that I'm in my working hard phase to get to what I'm trying to get to in terms of my accomplishments and what I look at as success. So I had to stop comparing myself to others. Secondly, I had to form new habits. It's so easy to blame or to point fingers at situations or even people on why you're not where you feel like you should be, why your growth is stagnant, or why you haven't accomplished this just yet or that just yet. And I had to do some self reflection in terms of, okay, how am I contributing to this? Because I'm sitting here doing a self evaluation. I had to take ownership and accountability for the things that I neglected to do as a person. I had to look at my habits. I am great. I am a beast at setting goals. I am great at accomplishing my goals. I've always been great at accomplishing goals, right? But my habits suck because my habits were terrible. And what I've learned is goals are great, but your habits is what's going to be life changing. And so I had to think about and reevaluate myself in terms of some of the habits that needed some work, right? I'm bad with time management. So that was one of the things that I had to learn how to do. Setting my alarm clock and getting up when the alarm clock actually goes off and not hitting the snooze button 10, 20 times. So I had to develop habits, new habits, positive habits that would encourage my growth in terms of becoming the person that I desire to be. Now, this may sound crazy, but it's been working. I've also created like an avatar of myself. I've envisioned what I want myself to be like, the person that I desire to be, which is getting up early in the morning, exercising, eating healthy, just having my stuff together. So I had to envision what that person looks like. Like, what time does she wake up? What does she wear? How does she speak? How does she move? How much time is she spending on different assignments? Like, all of that, and try to become that person. So decide what does that person look like for you? What does the best version of yourself look like for you from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, and then start being that person. Gratitude. I had to learn. It sounds crazy when you say it out loud, but I had to learn to show gratitude. Like, it is so easy for us to get caught up in the things that we don't have, that we totally neglect and appreciate the things that we do have. The simple things. I call them simple, but in a lot of cases, things that other people don't have the ability to do aren't so simple. Just like waking up and being in your right mind, right? Being able to like think clearly and have the ability to comprehend information, the ability to open your eyes and be able to see, to be able to hear with your ears, to be able to speak, right? Not everyone have that blessing when they wake up in the morning. There are people who get up and are physically impaired and can't move, right? So just being grateful and having the gratitude for the things that sometimes we take for granted. So I try to start off my morning, I try to end my evening with gratitude, just being grateful and being thankful for the things that I do have, the blessings that I do have, because I do feel like if you aren't grateful for the things that you do have already, like your abundance will never kick into full gear because it's like, well, you're not even grateful for the five things that you have. What are you gonna do when you have the 10 things, right? So I really am intentional about acknowledging acknowledging all of my blessings thus far, all of my accomplishments thus far, and being grateful for where I am, because I also know that where I am right now could be could be different. I also know that people look at my situation, they wish that they could be in my situation. So gratitude is extremely important, in my opinion, and has helped me along the way, and also given me the grace that I need to know that even though I'm not exactly where I want to be, I'm still working towards that, and I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for the growth thus far, and I'm grateful in knowing that with my continued knowledge, my continued resources, my agility, that I can continue to propel into a place where I'm trying to go. Next, I want to talk about organization. Organization is extremely important. Organization has been like the downfall for me to a T. I am not organized at all. Like, no matter how I try, that's just not my thing. But I'm working at it and I continue to work at it. And I really think that being organized sets the tone of your day. It sets the tone of your thinking. It sets the tone of how productive you can be. If you have stuff all over the place, like, and you can't find nothing, that's going to be immediate, like, frustration, right? simple things like not knowing where your keys are, or you're looking for an important document, you can't find it because your desk is scattered with papers because you just toss everything in one location, will lead to chaos. And chaos leads to frustration, which then puts you in a funk, and then you're like, forget it, forget about it, and now you got an attitude, right? Organization, I think, is extremely important, and it helps when your space is organized, when things are where they need to be, and it has a home, it makes for your day to just run a whole lot smoother, in my opinion. I've had moments where I just toss things aside, I get to it later, and then weeks later it's still there, and now it went from a stack to a pile, and now I can't find nothing. And now I'm looking for this one thing, but I gotta go through this pile to get to the one thing that may or may not be in this pile because I really don't remember what I did with it because I'm all over the place because I'm not organized, right? Organization is so much more important than we realize it, in my opinion, in my experience. When I come into my office, my space is clean, everything is where it belongs, and I am ready to go. I feel my mind is clear, I can think, um, and it just feels good. Nobody wants to work in I can't even work or function in a chaotic space. I know the term, um, what's the term called? Organized chaos. I don't know who came up with that term, but it's ridiculous. Okay. Organized chaos is like a recipe for chaos. And nobody wants to go through chaos. I cannot function in chaos. I cannot think clearly. It's overwhelming for me. Like, I can't function in that. But I think having a clean space, being organized, really helps and set the tone for you to tap into your creative space, your best self. And you feel good. Like when you're in a space that's welcoming, that's clean, I feel good, right? It changes my mood. When I go into a space where it's clutter and stuff is everywhere, I instantly like tense up and I get frustrated. I get annoyed. I don't want to be bothered because it's like it's stuff all over the place and it's like I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it right now. And my mood totally changes. So, organization, having a clean space, an inviting space, I think also will be extremely helpful. And then I would say being mindful of your circle, like being mindful of the people that you hang around, the people that you talk to, because just like having an organized space that contributes to your mood, the people that you engage with, the things that they say, the conversations that they're having, that also um is contagious. And sometimes we don't even realize it, but the people that you associate with and you're engaging with can also be contagious. So if you are constantly hanging around like negative people who always have like bad things to say, they're always talking about, always skeptical, everything is a scam, and I just don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that. And they're not looking for a solution, they're not optimistic. That can rub off on you, right? That energy can come off on you, and I don't want that. I don't People don't want to be around bad energy. I want to be around good energy. I want to be around people that makes me feel good, that makes me feel good about myself, people that I can pour into, people that pour into me, and we can just talk about like being the best versions of ourselves. I don't want to be around people that's always complaining and not talking about solutions, not talking about how to make things better, but they're always talking about how things are so terrible, how things are so bad. They just sit there and they just complain. Like that's not inviting. And that's not an inviting spirit that I want to be around. So, those are some of the changes that I have implemented in my life to help me like transition into being just a better person overall, like getting unstuck about my thoughts, getting unstuck about my feelings, getting unstuck about like the progression of where I'm headed, the things I want to do in my life, professionally as well as personally. Showing gratitude, being grateful for where I am right now, being organized, organizing my space, making sure that my space is inviting so that I can think clearly. I can tap into my creative mind and not being overwhelmed and being so, flustered. Also, just not comparing myself to others. Like being happy with who I am and knowing that I am in my own race, running at my own pace. And while I can come on social media, I can talk to friends and be encouraged and be motivated, knowing that I am in my own lane. And they are people just like me, and just like how they have worked hard to get to where they want to be, I am also doing the same. And also not allowing society to dictate what success looks like, what the best life looks like, right? I'm deciding what my best life looks like for me. Okay. I know what I like. I know what I enjoy. I know what makes me happy. I know what makes me sad, right? And so I'm utilizing that to determine my best life, not what other people have going on. Okay. So I hope that this video has been helpful to you. I hope it provided some insight, a little bit of food for thought. I just wanted to tap onto it just a little bit because it really touched me after seeing her post, like feeling lost. And I'm just like, I remember being there. I remember being there, and it was not a good feeling. But I also knew that just sitting there feeling sorry for myself wasn't going to change things. I had to do some deep introspective of myself, some self evaluation, and figure out, okay, how do I get out of this rut? How do I stop feeling like this? And those were some of the things that I tapped into to help me kind of like transition my mind, transition my feelings, and ultimately transition my actions to become a better version of myself. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. Let's talk about it. Have you ever felt a moment of being stuck or like lost and just not knowing what to do, feeling sad and just not knowing what to do? Like what are some tips that you've done that you would like to share? Talk about it.